I'll literally hold it like this.
Oh.
That way I can turn it.
Oh, like that.
You want to really want to grip it, you know, or you can grip it like this and go like that. It depends on how strong your fingers are. You're not going to break it.
So now, do it at an angle so the light is going to shine right into that cell.
You want to hold it?
So that you can see a little grain of
And
rice.
you can sneak up close to it.
Tiny, much tinier than just a shake.
Yeah.
That is what?
An egg.
Sometimes.
Little tiny white grain of rice.
So that shows you this is
But
a-
you should be able to see eggs
This was a new swarm.
and see larvae. And cap brood's really easy.
And I'll get it over.
And what we'll do is we'll contrast that.
Okay, so hand it.
You know, we'll see if we can find a frame with some mixed brood on it. But this has got
A waggle.
they're worker eggs.
Waggle down, just doing a waggle. Yeah, that one.
So anyway,
Right now, they're not doing any drones yet.
So how do you know it's a worker?
because of the size of the cell,
And some of the others we
drone
might
brood
find
is much bigger.
Yeah, because they don't work. They just leave.
Wow. I like the drones.
Okay, now we got some sealed brood up here. We've got a lot more brood.
How many days have these guys been in the hive?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
This was a
So now in the
swarm
middle of
they
this,
caught.
see those capped cells? Those are worker cells. Now all around them, you can see gobs of larvae. See those little white curl
Comb over.
C-shaped things in the bottom? You see the larvae? They're all around there. Those are different levels of maturation, and they will eventually be capped. This whole frame will be covered with capped brood. But what the queen does is she typically starts at the center and lays in a kind of a circular pattern out to the edges of the frame.
So the larvae is already in there before
yes.
they cap it?
Yeah, it has to be.
Okay.
You know, it's about 9 days uncapped from the egg
Okay.
until the capping occurs, and then once they're capped,
Honey, how you doing?
the rest of the 21 days takes place. But you got 3.5 days as an egg, capping at about the 9th day, and then emerging anywhere from 20 plus or minus a day. There's a lot of larvae on there. You can see them, those little white things, kind of like
Want the
C-shaped,
Pearly white.
pearly white,
That is a nice pearly white.
lots of larvae.
Oh, yeah.
And so when they cap a brood cell, the cap is typically raised a little
Yes.
bit.
If you
on
see
a
depressed-
honey cell, it's flat.
Well, no, they can all be raised. On a brood cell, the important thing to know is that when they're depressed and they're kind of greasy looking and might have perforations, that's a sign of disease. These are fresh, healthy capped cells. So anyway, I'm looking for the queen.
When we're looking at the larva down there,
Yeah.
isn't there like a little, I don't know if it's the Verona virus or whatever, where, well, whatever, you know what I mean. The little, you can see like little dots on there.
Mites?
Yeah.
You
Is that
don't
mites?
you don't
So-
see that in open brood. The
It's
only
in capped
time
brood.
that the
Oh, it'll be
varroa
in the-
enter is the 24 hours before this is capped.
Okay.
Once that larva is mature and it's going to go to the pupa stage and it's going to be spin a cocoon and be covered up, that's when the varroa wants to sneak into that cell. It'll go underneath the larva. It has like kind of a snorkel tube, proboscis, its mouth part. It will get into the food underneath the larva and poke that through to breathe, and then wait for the capping to occur, and then it'll come out and it'll feed on it. It's kind of
So
Rambo.
Jeff, the picture that I showed that had the varroa on it, that's because it had been
do you
broken out.
need to
of
worry about
its
losing
Okay,
the
so
queen?
it had been
It had been
capped.
capped.
Yep. Okay.
Pardon?
Okay.
Do you need to worry about like pulling
'Cause
out a
that's what I
frame
was
and
like,
having the
how-
queen
Right.
drop
No.
off or fly off?
So if
Well,
you
that's
have
why I'm doing it
drone
carefully.
somewhere else,
Yeah.
I'm
we'll
chasing
open
a
the
dude
drone
around here
and
trying to
we'll
get a
look
hold of a
for
drone.
Okay.
Here's a drone
guy's
right
a
here.
drone,
See this
yeah.
drone? See him running around? He's got big old fly eyes.
Yeah.
I'm kind of poking him in the butt. He's got a squared off body. His
The eyes touch on the top
yep,
of their head.
yep. They're built like a fly. They've got an extra segment in their antennae. No stinger.
You have a hatred.
They're a flying sex organ.
I like the
That's
drone.
what they are. Yeah. And if you want to learn to mark a queen,
Sounds like a rough
go out
life.
and go out and capture a bunch of drones.
No, they don't.
They will fight
practice.
harder and if you can mark a drone, you can mark a queen. That's what I do. Is I'm teaching my grandson to mark them
Mark them.
with a pen. Well, if we yeah.
pen.
So I'm looking on this side for the queen. The queen will, there'll be a retinue. There'll be a group of bees around her that face her and feed her and groom her.
And if she was swarmed from last year, she'll be green.
Yeah.
All my queens were marked green last
So anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to roll this frame over and look at this side. You can see
Now normally,
more cap brood. Look at all that cap brood.
now
She's
normally,
been busy.
he would do this all over the hive,
Yeah.
Just
not
in
over
case
here.
Yeah.
green.
That,
He's
okay,
doing
that, yeah.
He's away from the hive just to show us.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But anyway, that's. But see, that's older larvae, and that's why more of it's capped. And this will be. Just so you know, if you see all the bees that are covering the surface of that frame, when all that brood underneath her matures, that's 3 times as many bees. So if you want to know how many bees that one side of that frame will produce, it'll produce 3 of what you see there. So that in a matter of 3 weeks, this will double and triple in population. And so the box on top is not a bad idea, as long as it doesn't get super cold, and they can probably thermoregulate this box. But I'm looking for the queen. I'm looking for her.
She's not on that.
And she's not on this frame. She moves differently, and the bees behave differently around her. But anyway, so
Specifically, what are you looking for to determine what's under the cap?
well, if I was inspecting this hive right now, I'd be done. Okay, because I know there's a queen in there, and I don't see any disease cap brood. It looks like that they're bringing in adequate pollen. They've obviously got extra if they need it. They've got feed. I'm done. Okay, I don't have to find the queen. I have to find evidence of her, and I have if I found eggs. If I see nothing but cap brood and open brood and no eggs anywhere, I'd start looking for her.
Yeah.
Because either she just left and I've got a queen cell in there, or she's died and I need to either put a new queen in it or some eggs from another hive so they can rear a queen. So the red flag, if you don't see eggs, look for them. You should see eggs in a swarm. There should be a queen in there because she left with one, hopefully, you know.
Yeah.
I tell you what, why don't we look really quick for the queen?
We will.
And then and then we'll close it up because because obviously that brood got chilled.
Yeah,
coming out.
yeah, it's coming out.
And
So look at this frame. Look at all the brood on this. Wall to wall almost.
Now they're drawing comb between the two.
Yeah.
It's a brace comb.
Yeah. And honestly, unless it gets really bad and difficult and hard to manage, I leave it alone. It's a resource they can reuse. They're just a bunch of bees.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You know, look at that response. See how they flew into my veil? No.
No, they don't
Well, those
like
bees,
it now.
those bees are on the periphery of the frame too. Guess who they are?
Guard bees.
That's right. But anyway, same thing. I'm seeing eggs out along the edges
Is that a
here.
bee inside that cup, that black thing?
It's probably
Yep.
cleaning it.
No, it's cleaning it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's cleaning it. The only time bees are face out of cells is when they're emerging.
Interesting.
All the rest of the time, you'll see their backsides.
Just cleaning, huh?
I can't see what you're doing.
Is that the queen?
Is that her?
No,
Right underneath that one? No.
no,
that's not.
there's just bees moving around.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Wow.
Do they cap pollen for
No.
winter storage?
they only cover it with a thin layer of honey as a preservative.
So I have a question. My caps are much darker. Does that mean anything?
Yeah, it means they're darker.
They're redder, so nothing to worry about?
No, and it depends on the wax that they're
This
using.
is brand new.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
new.
2 weeks old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the brand new wax is actually white, and once they start moving across it and propolis gets mixed with it, they'll condition the wax.
There's a couple. They're just almost ready to come out.
Yeah, brand new bees. New bees are all kind of fluffy and white, and you can tell when they have kind of a white ghostly look to them, and they're usually feeding heavily off of other bees right away. So
There shouldn't be any of those in there.
No,
If
not
the
yet.
swarm's only 2 weeks old.
yeah, you're not going to see that. These are all older
20,
bees.
21 days.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah.
That makes sense.
But when you get emerging brood, if you have a nice warm day and you've got emerging brood, and just kind of sit there and watch them, you know, kind of climb out. It's really something to watch them climb out.
There's no queens here?
Yeah. So I'm not gonna, like Linda was saying, I'm not gonna linger much more on this frame. We'll just pull this last one out.
Back in without.
It was just.
So how many frames of brood have we found so far? We found eggs on this side. So we got 1, 2, we got 2.5. This one's probably number 3. Okay. And we want to write that down. I want to know how many frames of brood that I have in the colony.
The queen will probably be on this frame.
And she's probably running around on the sidewall. Yeah, she's in the last one you look in. She's in the place you least expect her to be.
A lot of times when I'm going through like that, you almost can predict when you're going to find her because when you start finding the fresh eggs,
Yep.
she'll be on that
Yep.
one or the next one. Like
Yeah.
70-80% of the time.
Interesting.
If you've smoked the hive, you don't know where she's going to be. You don't know where she's going to be. She could be scurrying around. It kind of sends her into a frenzy. I'm not seeing a green dot jump out at me, so you may.
They probably cleaned it off.
Yeah.
So is this a drone right there, that guy?
Yep, that's a drone. Yep, that's a drone. That's a drone.
Does a drone ever fly out of the hive?
Oh yeah.
They'll drag it out.
Yeah, they can fly out of this hive. They will enter other hives. They are a different critter in the bee world.
Is that the queen right there?
No,
No?
No.
Why does
That's
that one look
another-
different?
that's a drone.
It's a drone.
Oh, okay. So
The queen has a long abdomen. Her wings typically don't extend to the end. The last third of her abdomen is exposed. She looks like a long haul bee. You know,
She
she's got a
doesn't have quite-
long
turbo,
abdomen.
She doesn't
Her
have
legs,
quite the
her
prevalent
legs are
stripe
typically
that she-
brown versus these all being black. Okay, different looking bee. But anyway, we're not going to pursue looking for her. We're going to put this guy back. We may pull out this last frame. So we got 3.5 frames of brood, which is good. They're getting with the program. And this is stores. It's an outer frame. So they've just got nectar and some pollen in here. So there's not a ton of pollen in here, but they have a lot of brood to feed. So I would highly recommend leaving that patty
right on your
downstairs
finger.
here.
So you don't mash her there.
Okay. We will put it right where it's needed. Okay.
And that is what on the pad?
Pollen patty.
It's
Why this time of year when so many flowers are blooming?
well, think about this colony for a second. What? See, we can do some logistics here. Okay. You know, I got 2 empty frames on one side. Okay. So what I can do is kind of rearrange it. Put one over here and one on the other side. Okay. Get some more in the center. So now if I wanted to be really, really nice to them,
Oh,
I'll peel the paper, see if I can get the paper off.
yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Well, when it's in the freezer.
I get that all on my.
We just throw it in.
Yeah, I just put it right on top of the.
Yeah,
Some of the
I
bees
do
are
too.
flying, and a lot of them have to stay.
And that way they can get into it really easy.
So
You don't have to fight with it.
only a fraction of the bees are able to fly today to go get pollen, so they might be struggling to get enough to
Okay.
feed all their larvae.
I
So
don't
by
know.
putting
Here
this
we go.
patty right there,
So where's
it
our
allows them
smoker?
to go 1 inch instead of
Oh, you're
Now,
gonna clear
now
a
I'm going to
space.
smoke them down.
Okay.
they're going to build up faster because they don't have to go as far and they can stay
Yep,
close
there you
there
go.
and keep
Scoot
the
'em in.
brood warm.
Is there a particular time of year you do this, or add
Pretty much.
supplement this
Yeah.
the pollen?
Yeah, we
There's
want.
times that they absolutely need it, but there's also times when like you want them to build. And this is a swarm they just caught a couple weeks ago, so they want them to build into a hive.
Smoke them all down, so we don't want to smash them. Come on, ladies, get with the program. here.
You like
Everybody-
put it on the empty part and then like, no.
Well, you can do that. That's what I'm going to try to do.
Yeah.
'Cause once
That's
it's
what I do
down,
with my cover.
that's what it's down. It's a done deal. Come on,
Oh,
out of the
I
way.
didn't know you were putting the sticky side.
Yep.
Out of the way.
That's the
Okay.
easy side for them to get.
There. Now it's right over the brood
yeah.
nest. Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Won't stick to the other one, but it'll be right where they need it.
See,
'Cause
I
that
find
brood,
when I do that,
the nurse
my
bees,
boxes don't fit down.
smush.
Smush?
Smush.
Okay.
See, we scooted the bees out of the way, so let's go ahead and put your other box back on top.
Right behind you there.
Yep.
Yep.
then I'll do this. You know, I'm not shy about. You know, they're gonna get into this stuff. This is a lot easier for them to get than going out in the field and gathering.
Right.
Okay. So go ahead and set that right up in there.
Well, it's another mission for you.
Okay.
You can
See,
hear
there's a little
them
bit of
ramping
gap,
up inside.
a little bit of gap underneath that. Okay, and so these don't ride up. So then you can go ahead and put your inner cover back on.
And is there
The program.
the
That
width
goes
of? Well, mine don't all have. Can I look at? Mine don't all have the notch, but it's deeper on one side than the other.
Yeah, there is, and it's the manufacturer. If
Okay.
you leave too much space up here, they'll billboard comb in it. Some bees will, some bees won't.
Okay.
My whole idea with this slot and the hole and all that stuff, I'll put a piece of screen on this. Okay, I don't necessarily want them up here.
Okay.
And then I got my entrance over here,
Yeah.
and I got this over here. The air can come out through here, and it can exit through there. And the telescopic cover prevents a flowing draft, because the air has to go out and down and out. And so I'll take this inner cover, and I'll put it on,
and scoot it
and
all the way
I'll
to the
hug
back.
it this way.
And did
So
you
the holes
cut
in the
that
back.
notch in there?
No, some of them, a lot of them come with it.
Okay.
I don't use that. I use what's called a Vivaldi box,
Oh,
and it has vents in it, and it has a space for a feeder and all of that, and I leave it on year round. But when you have
Okay.
these inner covers, that's what I do. But I will screen that top, and the reason for that, a lot of people say, I need an upper entrance on my hive. You don't. You know, bees don't look for logs with 2 holes in them.
Yeah.
You know, they take what they can find. They will sometimes inhabit ones that have multiple entrances, but a lot of times they'll propolize those other ones
other
and close
hole.
them off. But what you're doing is you're allowing air to move up here slowly. The thing is you don't want to draft. There's warm, moist air up there, but you want to, if you can, you want to create a thermal dome in there where they can stabilize the temperature of that
Okay.
brood nest. If you allow a little bit of airflow out of here and out of there and out the back door, but once again, this hangs down lower, so it's going to come out, go down to get out. So it's going to be very, very gradual. But the bees will get up and they will fan. They will use that opening to their advantage.
Now, I have a question, Robert and Jeff. How much does it snow here during the
Oh,
winter?
good Lord.
No, this year you didn't have really.
No, this year we got like what, 18 inches?
Now,
No, that was last year. This year we got 4 inches, and so 7 inches.
go
this year.
online to bushfarms.com and read about Michael Bush. He lives in Nebraska, and he gets some big snow out